What up, what up, what up, everybody? I'm back, and I'm alive. I'm feeling better than ever. Up for another episode of Arispe on America. We're going to go ahead and just get online for a little bit. And really didn't get to dive into too much news earlier when I was online. I was kind of just doing a little bit of a trial run for a couple of things. But a couple of things that actually happened today, a couple of remarks that I actually wanted to make, and couple of videos that I wanted to cover before I wrap the night up. You know, I'm feeling kind of awake right now, so I felt like it was a good idea to get online for a little bit and kind of go over the things I couldn't go over earlier, kind of react to some of the videos that I didn't get to react to. Like I said earlier, it was kind of a test run. You know, I was experimenting with TikTok Live for the first time and just kind of seeing how that goes, trying to build up my audience everywhere that we can. But yeah, with all that being said, I don't want to ramble too much without actually talking about news. That's enough about me. Let's go ahead and dive in to Trump's remarks on the Iran strikes, military power, global security, blah, blah, blah. JD Vance's reactions to reporters asking him if he supports the war or not. And it's quite hilarious, honestly, what he actually has to say, because he can't openly actually support the war or condemn it. So that being said, people on TikTok, I apologize that you can't see my screen. I need to get on live at least 2 more times before I can start screen sharing. I know that sucks. It's just a requirement. But people on Twitch, I'm going to go ahead and start this video off, man. Let's just get into it. Let's kind of see what this man has to say about what's going on.
That bomber over there. Thank you. You knew immediately which one. This looks small, but in person it's very big. Because it's the only plane capable of carrying a 200,000-pound bomb. So I don't know how they do it. Because it's very sleek and nice, but it carries a lot of weapons and there's a lot of bombs. But had I not sent this
Glaze in the B-22 bomber
times numerous others to
I don't know how they fit so many bombs in there, but they do. They fit so many bombs.
Dead dark. Every single bomb.
What up, Captain Luffy? What it do, boy?
Was supposed to hit.
Captain Luffy, we just going over some Trump stuff. How you feeling about it out there, man? How you feel about the war? Oh, he out.
Or even close. And I think we've probably proven that with Venezuela and now with because we have done a number in Iran. But if I didn't do that, if I didn't decimate, I call it their nuclear dust, they would have had.
Bro, I thought this had decimated the entire nuclear capabilities of Iran last year. This literally, I watched the State of the Union address. For anybody that is not up to date with politics and actually paying attention, this dude literally said we had obliterated the entirety of their nuclear capabilities at the beginning of February. I don't understand. I do understand. I know why we're at war. That's the only thing that they're covering right now, is the fact that the oil is not getting through for America. I've been saying this shit since the beginning of the war, that it's over the oil, bro. It's always for the oil. America quite literally only ever goes to war for the extraction of natural resources, right? I think we've been at war most of our existence as a country. We've only been at peace for 16 years of it, people. Like, how do y'all not get this through to your head that we literally make money off of war? Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, they don't make money during peace times. But when I try to say that, y'all think I'm anti-capitalist. I'm just trying to tell that the politicians, whether you're left or you're right, they're making money simply off of the war. The same that are profiting off of healthcare, off of rent extraction for every single one of us Gen Zers. Those are the same people that are invested in all of these defense contracts. They make a motherfucking bunch of money. Buy low, sell high. I mean, everybody just needs to pay attention to where the money is. That's all I've been trying to say to people since the beginning of this shit. So let's go ahead and just see what this dude has to say. Like I said, I'm sorry about the little rant.
Had a nuclear weapon within 1 month after that bombing took place, and they would have used it on first Israel and then the Middle East.
Nah, they
and you know that because all of those missiles that were launched against...
Bro, ain't nobody ever want a nuclear weapon because they want to utilize it on another country. They develop nuclear weapons to deter other countries from going and invading them through fear of escalation. That's the best way that I can word it. I don't know any other way to word that right there. Like, America is so threatened of other countries making nuclear weapons, and they frame it as like we're going over there, like they're going over here and they're trying to go ahead and eradicate all these other little countries that surround them. But it's complete bullshit. America has 5,144 nuclear weapons. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is an actual number. I guarantee you, if I look that shit up right now, how many nukes does America have? There it is right there. 5,177. I was off by 33 fucking nuclear weapons. So we're that threatened by Iran developing one? No, it's because they're fucking trying to deter any other country from coming and invading them. I mean, literally with Iraq, we blamed it on the fact that they were developing nuclear weapons, and when they stopped developing any type of nuclear weapons earlier back in the fucking 90s, that literally led to them not being able to deter us from doing what we did to them in Iran. I don't think people understand how much money that we spent in Iran, but between Iran and Afghanistan alone, I think it's like $4 trillion in direct military costs. And then over the time of it, like the last 20 years, just trying to build up their governments as well, we spent an additional $3 to $4 trillion. That's why I'm so against this war, because ain't nobody want America to go and spend all of this money just to blow up a country, just for us to have to build up its infrastructure again. Like, seriously, we have enough problems here at home. A lot of people don't realize this, but what we have already spent over the course of 17 days is enough money to fund a year's worth of highway infrastructure for us to rebuild our highways. I don't know about y'all, but I live in the South. Our roads are trash. They're garbage. And all I ever try to do is advocate for the fact that I want to build up American infrastructure. I don't feel like that's not an American first position, but every single one of you want to say that it is. That I'm against America, that I'm pro goddamn Iran having a dictatorship, but that ain't the case. Ignorance, man, ignorance.
Long ago, long before they knew they would be using them this quickly. Had we not done this, you would have had a nuclear war that would have evolved into World War III. And more important, this is a war that there would have been nothing left. So we've done a great thing. The people that say it's okay for a very sick ideology, a very sick country in terms of its leadership, very good people, great people. But the people that say that, I think they're actually, they're either evil or they're stupid. So if you believe that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon, they should not have it, then you have to.
If Iran shouldn't have a nuclear weapon, why should America be able to have 5,177 nuclear weapons is the only question that I try to ask anybody. We're over here saying that Iran, and I'm not advocating for Iran having a nuclear weapon, but America only wants them not to have one simply because we want to extract resources from Iran itself. We want the access to the oil. Once we actually know that they're not developing any type of nuclear weapons, then we know for sure we can go their country, which is exactly what we're doing right now. And there was no proof ever of them actually developing nuclear weapons. The fear is that they're extracting uranium and enriching it. And every single one of you think that they're actually developing nuclear weapons. The CIA came out and even said that, and I hate the CIA. The CIA came out and even said that they were not developing nuclear weapons. They were just enriching uranium and that there was no reason to go do this. But Trump said, hey, I felt like we needed to do it. I just had a feeling. But every single one of you say that Kamala Harris was going to send us to war. Even when Trump said that she was going to take us to World War III simply because she's a woman and she's emotional. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? This feels like a little bit of an over-emotional reaction. And now he's over here backtracking. He's asking for help from other nations after he told them that he doesn't want it. He mocked them, literally talking straight shit about all of the NATO countries. And then he has the audacity to ask for their help. Hey, send some warships over here, guys. Hey, we need some warships. They're like, hey, if America can't handle this on their own, then why the hell should we send any type of warships into the Strait of Hormuz? Trump had the audacity to ask Xi Jinping to send warships. You got this guy asking for goddamn China's help. He's asking for China's help. And while we the flow of 20% of the whole entire world's oil, we're buying it now from Russia. We lifted sanctions on Russian oil, and then Russia is taking the taxpayer dollars that we're giving to them to go ahead and fund Iran. And every time that I say that, y'all are like, oh, you're an anti-American piece of shit. Nah, dude, I'm just trying to relay the facts because I'm paying attention and monitoring the situation 24/7. I'm trying to update you people on what's actually going on out there. Well, everybody wants to call me an ignorant piece of shit. I'm just trying to let you know what's going on with the world and what's going on geopolitically and geoeconomically. And y'all just want to say, hey, oh yeah, you're uneducated, fucker. Leave this to the analysts. Leave this to people who that are actually getting paid out there to go do it. Nah, fuck that, bro, because I'm tired of getting this wishy-washy propaganda shit that we see on our TV every single day. So much so that I got to go and find my news from foreign media because I can't rely on this shit. Is this a replay? Nah, it ain't no replay, homie. This is a real live reaction. I'm talking right now. That ain't no replay, bruh. I react to this shit in live time. I'm actually speaking on the issues. Why would this be a replay, homie? I don't understand why this would be a replay.
In 2 weeks, we have decimated
them. They
have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-air.
Hey, bro, I try to go in. I'm just trying to tell people what's actually happening in this world, bro, because right now, what we're doing isn't in an American first position. And I just try to tell people, hey, like, I don't want more Americans to go die while we spend billions upon billions of dollars dropping bombs on also innocent civilians. Because a lot of people don't understand when we go to the Middle East and we try to do this kind of shit, that we oftentimes leave areas destabilized. We leave the infrastructure of the country decimated. We're not helping anywhere. We didn't help Afghanistan. We didn't help Iraq. We didn't help Libya. We didn't help any of Lebanon. None of these countries. Every single one of them ended up being a worse place to live than they were prior to that. I mean, Libya is quite literally is a slave trade country. I mean, it has an open slave trade as we speak right now because Gaddafi, if a lot of people don't realize it, because I was 15 when Gaddafi was killed. Gaddafi was just trying to unite Africa under one currency, and that threatened American capital interests. It threatened the American dollar. So what did we do? We went over there, had a huge NATO operation, and overthrew the killed him, and destabilized Libya to the point where they can't recover. They can't even fix their society. And that's what's going to happen here in Iran. Even people on the ground, I try to say this over and over again, that they're not celebrating. They're not happy that they're getting bombs dropped on them. Are they happy that the regime is gone? Yeah. It's not even gone. Are they happy the dictator is dead? Yes. 100%. They are torn between a rock and a hard place, though, which is what I try to tell a lot of people, because they're torn between war and an oppressive regime. They're fearful of the day that the war stops. Is it going to be at the benefit of America, or is it going to be at the benefit of Iran? Are they actually going to lead to a regime change? I do have a podcast. I'm live on Twitch at the moment. You can follow me at Arispe, bro. I go live almost every day. I just got access into TikTok Live. So I'm trying to build up my following on here too. A lot of the people that I actually get though on here are MAGA supporters, which is fine because I try to come from a very central point of view, even though they hate what I have to say. I try to just speak for the average American. I mean, I'm nobody, bro. I'm just some middle class average ass trying to speak on what I see, dissecting 1,000,001 different outlets of media, trying to figure out what's actually going on out there. And every time that I've researched America intervening in any type of foreign policy, we end up destroying the very fabric of these countries' society. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people, they keep telling me this isn't a war, this isn't a war, this isn't a war. The only people that are not calling this a war are people over here in America. I mean, everywhere else in the world are calling this a war, including Israel and Iran. I mean, and that's why I try to get through to a lot of people here in America that it's easy for you to sit on your couch and talk, through the comments and be a keyboard warrior about the fact that America is not at war at the moment, but we are 17 days in right now. We have killed 1,800 civilians. I mean, between Israel and America. And I'm not even saying that when I make my videos, they think I'm talking directly about America and shit about America. They don't realize we're doing a joint operation with Israel, who hates Iran. So they are literally dropping bombs in civilian infrastructure. And I'm not, you could say it's on purpose. I don't know if it's on purpose. It feels like it's on purpose because these are genocidal maniacs who quite literally killed 74,000 people, civilians, in Palestine. But the entire right is extremely upset about the fact that the regime supposedly killed 30 to 40,000. I'm extremely sympathetic to that. I feel for that. I don't agree that this regime should stay in place, but I'm just saying, was it our responsibility to fight Iran's revolution? You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's enough issues going on here in America, enough problems, especially in the midst of the most chaotic administration in history, it feels, or at least in modern times, because I'm not going to say in history, but at least in modern times, there's so much going on here that we should be focusing on what's going on here. And like, I was covering a lot of the Epstein shit before this happened, and it's just, it feels like a coincidence that we decided to go to war right in the midst of all of these elite politicians and world leaders being outed, right? And now nobody's even talking about it. And even me, I'm covering the war every day 17, and I'm still covering this shit, and I feel guilty because it distracted me from what's going on in the real world. But this has also become such a huge issue. It's become such a big thing. He is distracting us. 100% he's distracting us because he doesn't want to get in trouble. He doesn't want us to figure out his dirty little secret. He doesn't want us to find out what Dirty Donald was up to. You know what I'm saying? This dude is quite literally mentioned in the freaking Epstein files more than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. I mean, seriously. And there are still conservatives saying that, oh, no. Hey, bro, did you see the fact that they were eating babies, bro? Can you believe that Bush was like over there eating children? And I'm like, yeah, bro, that's fucking crazy, bro. I was reading that shit. Can you believe the shit that came out about Trump, though? They're like, nah, bro. Nah. That's fake, bro. That's fake, man. That ain't real, bro. That's all conspiracy shit. I'm like, what the are you talking about, bro? These are actual files that are coming out and being released literally at the start of the war. I think there was a 3. Oh, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the follow, man. Seriously. It means so much, bro. Every follow helps me, man. A lot, especially in the midst of my my community, bro, where I just get nothing but hogs hating on me 24/7. It's nice to see somebody that actually has a little bit of sense in them, bro. Actually can see through the propaganda because it's not just because it's red, white, and blue. Half of the can't see past it because it's literally patriotic and it looks nice, right? But past all of that bullshit, these are fucking us, man. It's crazy to me how the entire middle class fell for the fact that a billionaire could actually care about them. Like, dude, ain't nobody a fucking billionaire in this world that didn't have to walk on somebody to get there. That's all I've been saying right there, bro. The Bible said they would follow a false prophet. Exactly, bro. And then when you have Trump quite literally telling, and this was like a week ago, I made a video on it, telling generals and military commanders to basically say that this is that he was anointed by God and to bring on Armageddon to Israel. That's literally what the Bible says would happen. Like, dude, this man is quite literally, I'm not trying to like get off like biblical and shit, but that's like antichrist rhetoric, straight up. And I don't know if he's just playing into a narrative. I don't know if he's trying to scare Christians. I don't know what the his end goal is. But that type of rhetoric is dangerous. And people don't see that. People are like, oh yeah, this is God's war. And I'm like, bro, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to get like too religious, especially because I talk a lot about politics. But like, man, if you actually read the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, John, and Luke, the actual words of Jesus Christ, right? He would not bless any of these violent ass wars. And everybody's saying, oh, God bless the troops. And I mean, I agree. Please keep them safe. But there's no there's no Jesus that blesses violence and death upon each other. When our Lord literally told us that, you said it before, that if you an eye for an eye, or if you kill somebody, blah, 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 that's a sin. I say if you judge them, if you get angry with them, you are as equal. You committed an equal sin in comparison to murder, right? I mean, that's what I've read. I mean, when I was reading Matthew, especially when I was dissecting the Sermon on the Mount, when I was reading through that, I was like, gosh, man, Jesus is spitting facts right here. This is where he's actually giving us the new covenant. This is where he's giving us the new commandments, because a lot of people don't realize, they follow the Abrahamic covenant and they don't pay attention to the new covenant, because the new covenant is very difficult to follow, to love thy neighbor, to just love God and be, somebody who doesn't judge each other and doesn't hate one another. That's so difficult to do. That's why a lot of Christians don't follow Jesus's teachings. They follow Paul's teachings because Jesus was an anti-institutionalist, but Paul comes along and institutionalizes the entirety of Christianity and makes it a little bit easier to follow because Jesus says, hey, you need to live like me, you need to love each other, you need to not be hateful, you need to not judge. But Paul comes along and says, hey, as long as you accept Jesus Christ, you're good. Salvation shall be achieved as long as you know that he died on the cross for your sins, and because of that, you shall reach eternal salvation. And it's just like, dude, that gave humans the excuse to go be as vile and evil as they wanted to be without ever having to think about their actions. And exactly, Paul did write 2/3 of the Bible, and a lot of people don't realize that Paul is a man. He's not freaking God. A lot of people, especially when I have like debates with Christian nationalists, they'll reference Paul more than they'll reference Jesus. And I'm like, is Jesus' word like not like, does it not trump all in the Bible? The word of our supposed king, our Lord, does that not come before the words of Paul? And a lot of people, they're like, no. I can already tell, bro. Most conservative Christian nationalists, man, they quote Corinthians, right? They quote Timothy, they quote Romans, and I'm like, please, just for once, I need to meet a Christian nationalist that actually like quotes the words of like Matthew, like at least. And it's like, they're like, well, why is Matthew relevant in this conversation? I'm like, what the heck do you mean? Why is Matthew relevant in this conversation? Because Matthew literally introduces us to Jesus Christ. And that's all I try to get through to, most of these MAGA Christian, nationalists that spread so much hate and division and are in my comments talking crap or justifying the war, justifying death and destruction, that, you're not like a real Christian. The things that you're advocating for they're not Christian-like, and you just use this as like, what is the word? I think it's just something that a lot of conservatives say they are, but they don't actually like. They couldn't even quote a word of the Bible to you. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, that kind of moves, away from, like I said, I didn't want to get religious, but I went religious on them. But yeah, man, I'm trying to speak up against the fact that America has a different goal at the end of all of this. In my opinion, at the beginning, Trump was spitting out the fact that this was because of an oppressive regime. It was because we wanted to take down a dictator. But now, as I'm watching the news right now, literally behind me as I'm speaking, they're talking about oil, the Strait of Hormuz, which is what I've been talking about since the beginning. I've been telling people since the beginning of my videos that we literally only give a shit about the oil. As a Christian, sorry for them, please. We're not all like, hey, man, I know. I mean, seriously, I've met quite a lot of really, really good Christians in my life. And it's not all of them. It's just the ones that fall for the propaganda, man, and they utilize it to, spread their narrative and their hate. If you ever want to read a good book, I don't know if you can see this shit right here, the separation of church and hate one, man. This one is amazing. This will literally, like, it opened my eyes to, what it actually means to be a Christian, because it gives you so much insight on the word of Jesus that it was like, okay, maybe I have hope. I have hope in the fact that there are actual good Christians out here because, dude, I can't tell you how many times throughout my life I'm like, man, if this is how Christians are, then I don't know if I want to be Christian anymore because this is hateful. This is disgusting, and when I read this, I was like, well, maybe people are not so disgusting. Maybe there is hope out there in this world still. Maybe there are still good Christians out there. It's called the Separation of Church and Hate. It's by John Fogelsang. He has a podcast too, man. But like I said, I can't. Let me see if my camera's. Yeah, this shit. Separation of Church and Hate, man. A sane person's guide to talking back the Bible from fundamentalist fascists and flock fleecing frauds. Because there's a lot of them. Yeah, man, no problem. There's a lot of people out there that they like to pick selective scripture out there to justify their hateful rhetoric. And it's like, Boo Boo Gal. The war is because the petrodollar was dying and yes, 100%. I agree with you. I was talking about that the other day that the BRICS dollar or whatever the BRICS currency was starting to threaten the US dollar. Same thing with what Gaddafi was trying to do with Libya, man. A lot of us are not necessarily well versed in why we actually went to Libya and overthrew Gaddafi. I mean, why would Nelson Mandela say that Gaddafi is the best freaking leader for all of Africa to unite? He wasn't a bad dictator. I mean, was he a dictator and authoritarian? Yes, but most people in the Middle East or in that region are. We can't impose our Western democracy onto countries that don't want to accept it. But what I am trying to say is he wanted to unite Africa under they wanted to unite all of the countries and back their currency by the African gold that was sitting on the continent. And that would have basically destabilized the dollar overnight. So what did Hillary Clinton and NATO do? We launched one of the biggest NATO operations in history and went and overthrew Libya. And like I said, Libya is an active slave country to this day. And that is the perfect example right there that U.S. military interventionism doesn't help, bro. Once we achieve our operations, we dip the out and we leave these countries like hell, bro. We leave them destabilized. We don't give a shit about whether or not they impose democracies. Everybody wants to talk so much shit about the fact that, oh, Iran and its regime, Iran and its dictator, blah, blah, blah. Look back at 1979, you uneducated And I'm like, nah, bro. You want to look at 1979? I look at 1953 when we overthrew their democratically elected prime minister due to the fact that they wanted to nationalize oil. I always say that it's just due to the fact that countries want we want access to their oil, bro. We want that shit. We staying and having boots on the ground. He did have free education, medical. He was okay. Their country was the best. Libya was the best country to live in all of Africa. I think they had the highest GDP. The people had they had the most salary. They had free education. Married couples got like a stipend. They had, a bunch of maternal leave off. They did. Let me up, big dog. Like what? You want to get up on live? He said we staying on the ground. Hey, at least you're actually saying that we're having boots on the ground. Do you know how many people I argue with that say, hey, we don't even have boots on the ground. This isn't a real war. At least you're admitting that this is a real war. Because there's a lot of people that say that this is not a war at all. It's gotten so bad. Apparently other countries are saying America is not. Yeah, man, not at all, dude. Not at all. He said, yes, I do. What's good, bro?
We gotta keep these ISIS type fuckers in line. That we gotta stay there. As long as it takes, we gotta stay there.
We gotta keep these ISIS in line.
Yeah, we gotta keep those fuckers in line. You hear all the shit they did? Behead kids and burn people in cages. They're subhumans. They're pure evil. We gotta keep those. You hear about what happened in California when they pew-pewed the special needs school? They unalived 20 kids over there.
I mean, do you understand that there's a difference between the IRGC and ISIS?
They're all the fucking same. Iran is literally the same. They're all the same.
How ISIS was established?
How?
The CIA is the one that established ISIS to combat the Soviets in Afghanistan. No, this is actual truth, bro.
That's not true. That's not true.
No. It's his actual released information. This is not like me trying to. I implore you to not actually take my word for it. I want you to go look it up. I want you to say that I'm bullshitting and then go look it up and then be like, oh wait, because we were fighting the Soviets in Afghanistan. We funded Al Qaeda and we funded ISIS. This is literally a fact, bro. And once we finished our operation there, we left them with all of the military equipment and we highly trained them. These radical Islamists that went ahead and they did what they did. America is always just cleaning up its mess. The same thing right here. Like I said, the IRGC only took power due to the fact that they had an oppressive Shah that we imposed on to the Iran. In 1953, one of the first CIA operations, and bro, I come from a very central point of view. I'm not liberal or conservative. I'm just, and I'm just trying to explain the facts. In 1953, we overthrew their democratically elected prime minister because they wanted to nationalize oil, and we imposed a dictator, a Shah that used a oppressive Gestapo type secret police to dissent anybody who was against the prince or whoever the hell he was. And that led to 25 years of oppression, which led to the Islamic Revolution. So, but why is it our issue? Like, because at the end of the day, man, Iran's revolution should be Iran's issue, should it not? Especially
And
here in America, because I mean, we have a lot of issues here at home. We've already spent almost $20 billion in 17 days. That's enough money to fund a 1 year of fixing all of the highways in America. I live in the South. Our roads are trash. All of our highways are shit. There's potholes everywhere, man. He literally promised no more wars. And I'm not saying that the regime isn't shitty. I don't even know enough about it. I mean, I know a brief amount of history. And all I guess I'm trying to say is, why is it America's issue to go and fix Iran? Especially because, I'm going to be real, this feels like Israel's war. This doesn't feel like our war. This feels like because they want Iran wiped off of the map, not because we want Iran wiped off of the map. Because they're saying that this is over nuclear weapons. They were just supposedly enriching uranium. They've been supposedly making nukes for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Especially like even Iraq. We invaded Iraq because they were making weapons of mass destruction. We never found any. We destabilized the country. We spent $3 trillion, killed, what is it? Almost 400,000 civilians.
You're not big enough to even talk to. You're not even worth my time.
Are you running away?
You're a peon. I consider
Bro,
you a
you're
peon.
running away.
No, you're just a peon. You don't have enough followers. You're nobody.
But I have not enough followers. But guess what? TikTok let me go live due to the fact that I actually have a following that y'all give me.
Okay, you're still a peon, though.
That doesn't matter. I just started 3 weeks ago, and look how big I've already gotten.
I know, you're still a peon.
That's fine, bro. I don't really mind you calling me a peon. I quite literally make this content to get people like you to get upset, and I'm asking you a question.
No, I'm trolling. I'm against the war in Iran. I don't care.
Okay,
I'm against it. We shouldn't be over there.
All right. That's what I needed to hear. You're not for the war in Iran.
No,
it's dumb, right? I mean, it's dumb.
I'm fucking with the peon stuff, all of it. I'm trolling, yeah.
All right, exactly, bro. It's cool. I like to troll people too. Bro, we can troll each other all day, bro. I really just try to come from a place where we unify our people again, not be so divisive. We can troll all day. I don't mind. That shit don't bother me. I'm like a grown ass man. I find it funny, to be honest.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a shit show. We literally arm these people, the ISIS types and Mujahideen or whatever, and now we got to clean up the mess that we created.
I 100% agree with you, but at the same time, do we need to clean up this mess? Is it really our mess to clean up at this point, or is it Iran's mess to clean up? Because regime change is never going to come from American intervention. It has to come from the people, right? I mean, and if the people like to be controlled by a dictator, do you really think that they're going to accept Western democracy that easy?
Well, we don't really know how much of them actually support that stuff.
I agree.
They censor news. I mean, it's not a free country like America where you can basically say whatever the hell you want. That place is so messed up. If their sports teams loses, they they torture them. Oh shit, they T-word them.
It's all good. I think there's an auto moderation on it, man. You're good.
It's not a free country. It's not a democracy. It's not a republic. It's a backwards. It's a shithole.
I do agree. But at the same time, I think that countries, because there's a lot of shithole countries out there. There's a lot of countries that are suffering from dictatorships, and especially like all throughout like Africa and throughout like the Middle East and throughout, Eastern Europe, but we don't ever intervene in any of those, because you have to ask yourself, would America get involved if there wasn't oil in Iran? Would America ever get involved in any of these issues if oil wasn't involved?
Yeah, I think so, because a lot of people like to be the Captain Sava, and free people they think are oppressed.
I agree.
Like white knights, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they try to paint this in a way where it's about freeing a people, but at the end of the day, why are they so focused on the Strait of Hormuz and not about the people that are dying in Tehran right now? That's all the news is covering is the Strait, about because 20% of the world's oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. And because Iran has access to that choke point, they're basically not allowing any ships that are not friends to them. So any adversary of Iran is getting basically blown up at the moment, right? And now all they're focused on, it seems, on this news, like I've been saying since the beginning, is the oil. Oil. It's not even talking about like the death count, it feels, anymore. It's not talking about the fact that, yeah, we killed the Ayatollah just for his son to take power, and a lot of people don't realize he was 86, bro. Like, this dude wasn't about to, like, just die of a heart attack at any moment in time. Like, you don't think that the regime was waiting for him to die so they could have more radical people rise up to power? I mean, these are literally radicalists. I mean, I'm never advocating for the regime. What I'm saying is that when we do these kinds of things, we open power vacuums up in these chaotic areas for just even worse people to rise up, right? Even more oppressive people that are more idealistic, right?
It depends. You can
I'll
say
check
may
you
I
out
see
next time, bro.
course.
Appreciate you for joining, man. Sorry, I was letting sand by some
No.
guy. Go on, bro.
I don't know. The whole country is messed up. You just got everybody turning on each other. You got liberal versus liberal, Republican versus Republican, and then you got grifters like Trump. And the guy
Right,
lies all the time. The dude lies literally every day, every second. First he's pro-choice, then he's no choice, then he's pro-GAY, then he's anti-GAY. It's like,
right,
make your fucking mind up. What are you? What do you believe in? Do you believe in anything?
right. 100%. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, were you a Trump supporter?
Dear God, no.
No.
No. Fuck no.
Got you. Okay, so I guess that was the main question. So what did you've always been kind of like not able to fall for the bullshit?
I would say I've always been, at least since I was a doll, I've been pretty anarchist
Got
slash
you.
libertarian. But
Got you.
libertarian party is pretty. Basically, these days it's just basically either Trump or crazy leftists. That's what the libertarian party is these days.
Right. No,
They
man,
just
I
want the whole.
100%. I agree. I hear you, man. And so, do you feel like right now the whole entire narrative, the right versus the left, the blue versus the red, has gotten out of control?
Yeah, people are pretty crazy. They're like threatening people. They're calling people's work, getting them fired. It's never
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah, man, 100%. That's why I try to get online and do this kind of stuff, man. Even with the content that I make, even in the short form, is, a lot of people, they get really upset about it, especially MAGA supporters. But I just try to come from a place where it's like reasonable. I try to tell people like, hey, let's stop dividing each other because that's all the politicians ever want to do. And let's get back to a place where we can have a real conversation because Americans, man, let's just be real. Our history, we're violent. We've had 16 years of peace out of 250 years of our history. And one of the most violent wars was won against each other. And the last thing that we need is to stop talking and start fighting, right? So,
Yeah,
I think it's important to have discourse. It's important to have dialogue, man. It's important to get each other's opinions and, not get so upset with one another. So I think we can
yeah,
all kind of come back to this idea that this war is just not worth it, especially especially if you're a MAGA person. This is not an America first type of war. This is definitely an Israeli first type of war.
yeah. It's just, yeah. It's just, it's a big mess. Because, yeah, they're probably gonna be drafted pretty soon. All these kids are gonna get unalived.
And that's what I try to say when they're not even willing to when the press secretary is asked, "Are you willing to outrule a draft?" and she's like, "No, we're not gonna do that." That should worry Americans, especially the people that are pro the war. I'm like, dude, y'all could be the first ones to go to the front lines. I don't care. And they're like, "Oh, well, you're a bitch, bro. You just don't want to go to the front lines." Man, I'm 30 and I'm diabetic. They're not gonna take me. It's not me that I'm worried about. I'm worried about other young Americans dying for no reason in the Middle East, man. I'm 29, almost 30 years old, bro. My whole life we've been stuck in the Middle East, going to wars for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like we haven't had a draft since like 1974, and then they
Right.
bring it back. It's crazy.
That's stupid, right? I mean, especially in the midst of drone warfare, man. I don't want to see videos of kids getting smacked in the face with a goddamn drone.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even like fair warfare anymore. It's like it's just horrible the way that the technology has advanced and allowed war to accelerate the way that it is. Like I said, I'm watching videos right now on the TV, and it's just nothing but like drones hitting buildings and residential areas being torn apart, and it's just like, man, at the end of the day, war is never good for anybody. War is never good for any of the people that are actually there in the countries. and I guess that's all I've been trying to advocate for, is the fact that yes, people here in America might be happy at the fact that, hey, the regime's taken down, but do you really think that the people that suffer bombs being dropped on their head are happy? Probably not.
Well, I don't know. I keep hearing they are, then they aren't. Some people say they are. Who knows? There's a lot
Right.
of fake news and AI stuff. You never really know.
It's hard, man. It's hard to like differentiate what's actually real. Yes, you're right. Because especially living in that AI age, because there's a lot of AI videos coming out of bombs, right? And you have to watch like 20 different news sources just to get an actual like grasp of what's going on today. And it's also like you can't just pay attention for 5 minutes. You got to watch the shit 24/7, just to stay updated. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's wild where everything's going, and I didn't think that this would happen, especially with Trump. But at the same time, maybe I should have. And I think there's a lot of people, especially his supporters, that come at me so hard because they just don't want to admit that their president dragged them into something he promised that he wasn't going to do. Right?
Yeah, and then they say it's not a war, and it's he said no new wars, and it's not new. So that's what they keep saying. It's such coping.
Exactly. It's just an excursion, right? This is just an
Yeah,
operation. And I try to tell people that we haven't actually formally declared war since World War II. That's facts.
really.
Vietnam, yeah, Vietnam we never declared war. We have not declared war formally by Congress since 1941.
Well, they still went away ahead of it and drafted a lot of people.
Yeah, for an operation, right? And a lot of people don't realize that Vietnam started with just us sending troops over there to like advise. They were advisors, right? It started off very slow, and then here after a couple years, they started drafting people, and they started drafting more, and then almost every American was going and serving a freaking year in the jungles of Vietnam for no reason. My grandfather had to go fight that shit, man. That dude was he was not a good guy, man. He was a Mongol, bro. When he came back, he was a very troubled man. You
Oh, your
know,
grandpa?
yeah, man. I mean, definitely, he had to go fight in Nam, dude, when he was 18, and he came back, he was never the same. And I don't want to see more men have to go and fight in Eastern Sands and come back traumatized. I live in Dallas, so I live in the city, man, and there's a lot of people that stand on the side of the road saying they're vets, asking for help, and it's just like we don't take care of our veterans when they come back. It's stupid, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Veterans.
You mentally scar them for life. All the shit they see or how to do, and then they're
Yeah.
fucked. They can't get a job because they have PTSD.
Exactly. They can't operate as a normal human being anymore. And then we just throw them to the trash, man. And I mean, everybody wants to. Your live is being disconnected. Oh, wait. Repeated violations could result. I guess I used hateful language. Sorry. I don't know what I
God,
said.
you didn't say
Freaking
anything.
TikTok. I know, man, dude. And that's I live stream mainly on Twitch. I just got access into the live stream access for TikTok. Bro, they moderate you so hard. It's annoying.
Oh, here, yeah. I don't know about Twitch, but
No, Twitch is a little bit better. They definitely don't moderate me so hard, but it seems like TikTok is an easier growth tool. Like Twitch is like for retention, man. TikTok is like for exposure. Yeah, I guess I have to watch what I say. I don't know, man. I said something and it made the algorithm upset.
you can show nudity on Twitch. You don't care.
I know, exactly, man, exactly. And it's like if they kick me off Twitch, I'm gonna have to go to Kick or Rumble, man. But I'm not even saying anything that's out of pocket. I'm just trying to speak facts. I don't know. I don't know what I said. But yeah, man, it's definitely crazy, dude. It's definitely wild out here. It's definitely a shit show, dude. And I hope that we pull out sooner rather than later. Because right now, I don't know if you saw, like, we're asking NATO now to send in warships, and that just kind of proves that, like, what America can't handle the Strait of Hormuz by themselves. We have to start asking other people that you were mocking just 2 weeks ago for help now. Like
Oh, yeah,
Iran
I heard
isn't
about that.
making
Yeah.
propaganda talking shit about US now. Or the fact that they're using, $20,000 drones to take down our $1 million defense systems. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
You know what? Really is wild.
What's up?
All these countries say they're humane, but they always join the USA in all these wars. Though
Right.
they say they're humane. The U.S. is backwards and warmongers, but then they join the U.S. in all these wars. So it's very hypocritical.
100%. 100%. We go to war because, like I said, it's not that it threatens democracy. It threatens American capital interest. We're capitalists before we preserve democracy, right? I mean, at the end of the day, capitalism is the economic philosophy that allows democracy to flow. right? Without capitalism, would we really be here where we are today? And no, and capitalism is kind of predatory in the sense that we have to extract resources from weaker nations. And that's all this is that we just want control. I mean, Venezuela, man, come on. That's taking the oil. I mean, right when they come out and say that they sit on the largest oil reserves in the entire world, we go and we seize control of it. You know what I'm saying? It's always over the extraction of natural resources and capitalism, American capital interest, or global capital interest, I should say, because it's a global cartel nowadays.
I mean, shit. I mean, if I was living in Iran or Venezuela, I'd
Hmm.
rather live under corporatist rule than those governments. At least you have so-called a little bit of freedom and fake freedom. It's
Right,
better than living under those places.
right. But I think that yeah, we can say that for them, sure. And then, but I like to ask a lot of Americans, how do you feel about being ran by corporatists here in America, though? Because that's kind of what we're slowly slipping into is corporatism, especially seizing control of political power, and once we slowly go into corporatism, man, I mean, dude, the oligarchs seize control. What's going to happen to people like me and you? And that's why we at least need to speak up in our own country against the oligarchs, right? And
Yeah, it's like
maybe go on.
oh sorry. Yeah, it's like if Trump could do this, like who's to say a different country is saying, "Oh, Trump's a dictator," then they can come unalive us and use the excuse to try to take Trump. You know what I mean?
Right, 100%.
And that's scary. I mean, Trump. I mean, it wasn't really legal what Trump did, and another country can say that use that excuse and unalive Americans
Right,
trying to take
100%.
Trump.
100%, bro. Sorry, man. I got distracted. I had to turn on my mic. I'm on Twitch, man. I'm back. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now, bro? I have my mic off, I think. Fuck, dude. I was streaming this whole time without my mic on Twitch. That's ridiculous. Oh, that's funny as shit. Sorry, bro. Okay, I needed to turn on my microphone on my other stream here. Managing like 3 streams at once, bro. Sorry, I did not mean to like just go over what you were saying.
Oh,
But
stream. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you remember what you were just saying? Like, because somebody else was chatting on the other side.
Oh wait, you talking in 3 different chats?
I have you going on. I have like I'm talking to you actively, but then like Twitch is showing up, and then I got YouTube chat going on as well. I wasn't paying attention to them, but somebody just messaged and said my audio wasn't on on Twitch. I was like, oh shit! I've been and going for like 40 minutes, bro, and I didn't catch anything. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's just the kids these days on like TikTok, they just spread like when I say like if like when I say like what was I gonna say like oh yeah, they care about stupid shit, and I'm
Yeah.
saying like if I say 18-year-old's an adult, and if I want to date an 18-year-old because I'm 35, it's not a big deal. They freak
Right.
out, and they care about stupid shit like that, even though nobody other country cares. And you come to America, they freak out about stupid shit that doesn't matter. When soon 18-year-olds are going to be drafted to go into war, and then they care about
Exactly.
what I said. Well, that matters way more.
They care about your opinions more than caring about what's actually going on in the real world.
Like actual stuff that actually matters, that actually people get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. They're not really like a lot of this generation is very desensitized to what's actually going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? They don't really pay attention. They're just lost in their algorithm. They're living in their bubble and they get outraged by stuff that doesn't really matter when they could be paying attention to, what could eventually go get them killed, right?
Exactly.
Or get them sent to the front lines, and they're like over here acting as if that's never going to be the case, but I'm telling people that that could, especially when the press secretary is saying, hey, you might go to war.
Yeah, they rather slander me and call me a p word than actually care about stuff. It's so funny.
I hear you on that, bro. I hear you.
Like
But hey man, I'm actually about to hop offline, man. It's 12 where I'm at, bro. But it was cool talking to you, bro.
oh, cool. I'm Trey, Trey.
Trey, man. Nice to meet you, bro. I'm Aaron, bro. You want to drop a follow, man? I'll follow you back, man. You can join the live anytime, bro. It's nice talking to you, man. I'd always love to get your opinion on topics.
Well, it won't let me. But I can follow you on Twitch though. What's your Twitch?
It's at the bottom of the screen. It's just Aaron Arispe, man. Just like that. AARON
Oh,
ARISPE.
I see
Yeah, it should be there
screenshot.
down in the corner. Maybe if I move it to the side, you'll see it a little bit better. Yeah, man, follow me on Twitch. I'm online. I try to get on every day. And you know, I try to just keep people updated on what's going on. I try to monitor the situation. You know, I'm not always talking about the Iran war. You know, I'm talking about American politics a majority of the time. That's why I started this. But you know, the war is taking precedence at the moment, so I guess that's what we're talking about.
You the same name on YouTube too?
Yeah, same name on YouTube. It should be Aaron Arispe or Aaron Arispe official. Let me check that. Yeah, it's Aaron Arispe official on there. So same as my like TikTok on here.
Okay, official. Wait, after the Arispe?
Yeah, after the Arispe.
Official. Okay. Wait, how old are you?
I'm 30. I'm 29 going on 30, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
They
man.
probably dropped us. I'm a big
Seriously.
back, and I'm 35 in autism. I don't think they'll draft me.
Exactly. That's why people try to come at me and they're like, "You're just scared to go to war." I'm like, "Bro, I'm not even in the age group, bro. I'm defending y'all. You're like 19 coming at me, dog. I'm telling you that they're gonna draft your ass."
And shit, you got diabetes. They're definitely not gonna draft you.
Yeah, man. I tried to go to sign up for the military when I was younger, bro. I mean, they're like, "Hell no, we can't take you."
Shit, they don't even take somebody with wisdom teeth in. You know that? They literally won't draft you.
I did not know that.
You gotta get your wisdom teeth taken out before going.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that. That is wild.
Because they can get really infected. It hurts. Ooh, it hurts bad.
Interesting, man. Interesting. I did not realize that. That is crazy. I mean, yeah, I got wisdom teeth right now that are kind of hurting. I'm not even gonna cap.
Yeah, I'm getting mine removed. Well, I'm gonna talk to a doctor, and then I have to schedule an appointment to get it removed.
Gotcha. Yeah, I hear you on that, bro. I hear you on that. Healthcare is expensive as fuck.
Yeah, it just sucks.
It
I'll
sucks,
see you
bro.
later.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was cool talking to you, bro. I'll catch you next time, bro. All right, all right. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get offline for the day, everybody. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. I was online for like like almost an hour. I wanted to cover a little bit more of the news, but it's getting late. I'll probably hop on tomorrow again. I appreciate the 2 followers tonight, man. Y'all are getting me towards my goal. I appreciate y'all. Everybody freaking matters. You know, every single follower counts, man. And I hope that y'all come back. I hope that you tune in next time, bro. This was Arispe on America. Thank you for tuning in, man. I will literally see y'all tomorrow.